Today is Super Bowl Sunday. If you're not familiar, probably the biggest sporting event ever in the US. Also a big day for people to get together. Cassie and I are going to a Super Bowl party, I guess, at my friend Wesley's house. One of my oldest friends, probably my oldest friend actually. We met in kindergarten, and it's been a while since I've seen him, so I'm pretty excited about that. Also, probably one of the busiest days for supermarkets, grocery stores, because everyone is going to Super Bowl parties. So, Cassie's making samosas. I don't think that's a standard Super Bowl party food, but I'm excited about it. I'm really not much of a football fan, an American football fan, or a football fan, to be honest. So I don't really have a preference. I'm not rooting for one team or the other. The closest thing to me being a fan of a specific football team, I guess, is the Packers, because I took a tour of Lambeau Field one time, learned the history of the team, and I like that they're the only publicly owned NFL team. So if I had to choose, I would be a Packers fan. Shout out to Benton1. While Cassie's cooking, and since today is probably going to be pretty light on Pokemon Go, considering I have plans, let's play some Pokemon Duel. I want to just start by answering some questions that you guys have asked on previous Pokemon Duel videos to kind of just explain some of the mechanics that might be a little confusing. So let's start with this. Do you know if there's a way to discard figures? You can't just straight up discard them, but there is something better. If you go into the shop and you hit exchange coins down in the bottom right corner, you can trade your figures in for coins. So let's see. I have this Chespin that I don't want. So if you just tap it, you'll see there it's worth 417 coins. You hit exchange, Chespin is gone, and now I have more coins. Since we're here, I'll follow that up by explaining what the different colored cubes are for. The gold ones are meant to be exchanged for coins, so their only purpose is to get you more coins. There are 4 different levels, just like Pokemon figures: EX, Rare, Uncommon, and Common, and each one has a different value. EX obviously is the most, 35,000 coins, 15,000 for Rare, 3,500 for Uncommon, 1,800 for Common. So you just exchange those, and you get a ton of coins for them. That's what those are for. The other 2 types of cubes are used in Fusion. Hey.
Breakfast. Brunch.
Thank you.
Whatever.
Look at this. Delivery service, too. Thank you. So good. For Fusion, you want to start with a Pokemon. I'm going to start with Meowth because that's what I'm trying to level up right now. The blue cubes are used for experience. Again, there are all 4 rarities. EX, Rare, Uncommon, Common. Each one is worth a different amount of experience, with EX obviously being the most. Right now this is the only one I have, but I'm just going to use it. Fuse it, and the Meowth will gain 1,000 experience towards its next level. The green cubes are used to increase the chain level of your Pokemon's moves. These, again, have different rarities, and you have to use the correct rarity. So if you're using an uncommon figure, like Shuppet, you have to use uncommon cubes. I forget what they're called. What are they called? I don't know. Green cubes. You have to use the uncommon green cubes with an uncommon figure. I don't have very many, and honestly, it's probably not even a good idea to level up my Shuppet, but why not? It'll help in mirror matches. So, for uncommon figures like Shuppet, it requires 9 cubes to level up their move by 1, and when you do that, you can increase the move's damage by 1. So in this case, it would be my Shuppet's Nightshade would get powered up to 11 damage instead of 10, which isn't a huge deal, but if you come into a Shuppet mirror match, you do have a slight advantage there because you'll have 11, while that other Shuppet will most likely have 10. 1 damage doesn't seem like a lot, but it can actually make a huge difference because 1 damage is all you need to win a battle. If your opponent rolls a 60 power move and you roll a 61 power move, you're going to win that battle. Another question, something the game doesn't really explain. What's the green EXP or whatever bar for? Up at the top here. Sorry, I'm salivating because I've started eating. The green bar is like a stamina energy bar, and it's used for quests. If you didn't know, there are quests available in the menu there, and it's essentially like a one-player campaign. You can earn figures, coins, gems from it. Not a whole lot, but it is a way to get a few coins, a few gems, and possibly some figures. Most of the ones, I think actually all of the figures I've gotten from this so far have been just junk commons that I've traded in or used for fusion. But I'm sure as you continue, as you progress more, the figures will probably get better, the rewards will probably get better. But right now I'm on, what is this, the third tower? But each battle that you do costs a certain amount of energy. You can see this one here, Goopy Goomy, costs 7. As they get harder, the cost increases more, but I don't find this campaign, this one-player mode, so compelling, so enthralling that I need to do it so much, and I've never run out of stamina or energy or whatever it's called. Last question before we get into some battles. Actually, last question before I finish eating, and then we get into some battles. Do plates have a limited number of uses? In battle, you can only use each plate in your deck 1 time, but after that battle, you still have the plate. So it's not like when you use it once, it goes away completely. It just has a one-time use per battle. If you guys have any more questions about Pokemon Duel, please feel free to ask. I will try to answer them as soon as I can. But first I need to eat. Now that I'm done with that delicious meal, let's jump into some games. My deck obviously looks very different from the last time that I played some games with you guys. Basically what happened was I got really tired of losing to bad RNG. I went on a terrible losing streak. I got demoted from my league. I was down to like 17 something, maybe even 16 something rank. So I decided instead of letting luck decide the outcome of my battles, I wanted to try a strategy that would that focused on more surround kills, surround knockouts, so that I don't have to worry about rolling a miss or rolling a bad move. I swear every time I use X attack on my Latios, it rolls a dodge, rendering it completely useless. Every time. So this is my new deck. Shuppet, Meowth, Gabite, Salamence, another Shuppet, and Latios because it is actually really strong. But here we go. You can see that this deck has gotten me back up to 2050. I'm 50 points away from ranking up again to the next league. So we'll see. We'll see if we can do that today. So this is an interesting deck. Seems like this guy probably has a similar strategy. No EXs in his deck. So this will be interesting. I do want to say one thing that I've learned, always be aware of whether your opponent has Hurdle Jump in their deck, because I have lost a lot of games because I didn't look ahead of time and see that they had Hurdle Jump. So right now I'm just going to check. This guy has a Hurdle Jump and a Goal Block. I start out pretty much the same time every time, the same way every time, with trying to get Shuppet there as quick as possible. So now that I have a Shuppet on his space, what I want to do is switch my Meowth and Shuppet. And I'll show you why on my next turn. Well, I guess I can talk about it while we're waiting. Meowth has Fake Out, and it's, oh no, actually I have to block. Should I block? Should I go for it? This is always scary. I'm just gonna go for the fight on the Shuppet real quick, just to get it out of the way. You don't want to let Shuppet get close, because it's dangerous. So there we go, quick, easy, take out the Shuppet, and now he's back where he was, but I have an advantage in board presence. So like I was saying, Meowth has Fake Out, and when Fake Out hits, you switch places with your opponent. So if they're sitting on their goal space, you just, if you roll a Fake Out, you win. And there you go. I win. Super easy. Fake Out has 3 stars, meaning it takes priority over almost every other move that Pokemon are going to use, aside from gold moves, obviously. But it beats common goal space defenders like Blastoise, who has a 100 damage attack and a 2-star attack. So yeah, Meowth. I have to say, Meowth is my MVP. That's the reason I'm leveling up my Meowth, to increase the size of that Fake Out space. So he's level 4. I've increased Fake Out 4 times. One more level and I think it'll be 36, which means it's about a 1/3 chance that I'm going to hit Fake Out every time I roll. So not very bad odds, especially when you can get him there quick like I did in that game. That was the ideal scenario. That's the best case scenario with this deck. So let's play another one and see if we can get a little bit more challenging battle. And yeah, I totally forgot that that's what he was trying to do there. This is embarrassing. I'm gonna go for this round. That would be smart. Dead. Goodbye. Game over. I lose. So I just played and lost a pretty long battle, and I think since it was long and kind of boring, we're just gonna cut that one out. I ended up losing to, again, I mean, it was partially bad RNG, and then a lot of bad decisions on my part. So we're gonna play again and see if we can get a more exciting game to show you guys. This should be a challenge. This guy has Hurdle Jump, and all 6 Pokemon are EXs. It looks like he's going for kind of a water-themed deck, with Manaphy being able to move water-type Pokemon. It's interesting. It's an interesting deck. Keldeo's actually not super strong, if I'm being honest here. Well, why don't I just fight it? I'm just gonna fight him. The only way I lose is if I roll a miss. So, it's worth it. It's worth it to fight because the RNG is heavily in my favor in that battle. Alright, so he's going for Blastoise. This is perfect. This gives me an opportunity for Meowth. I should have just X-attacked that. I could have taken him out. I'm gonna leave Latios. No, you know what? Let's just do it. Let's do it right now. Oh yeah, that's right. He has Empoleon. Okay. Just start coming up that way then. Go. Oh no, he can get me there. That was a bad move. I shouldn't have moved in range of Rayquaza. Very bad choice on my part. I'll put Gabite in front of Rayquaza since Gabite literally cannot be attacked. He's gonna come out with Manaphy. I don't mind fighting Manaphy. In fact, I'll fight it right now. Easy. Easy win. He's gonna put a Raikou in front of me. Start advancing up this way. So here we go. He tries to attack. Gabite. I move under. Bring Salamence in. And it's an easy surround. So that's ideal. That's ideally how you want to play with Gabite or Salamence, or sometimes even Meowth. You can do that. Perfect. Fake Out. Actually, that's dangerous because now I can be surrounded. But if I want to... So I'm going to move here. So that way, if he wants to get the surround kill on my Meowth, he has to move Blastoise, and then his goal space is open for Shuppet. So he can't do that quite yet. I'm just going to leave Shuppet there. Move in to block his goal space here. If you have an opportunity, you always want to take it to block the opponent's goal space. He's going to start moving down the lane with Empoleon. Just come over here to meet him. Nope, I moved too far. Should have gone down. Whoops. He's gonna fight. Hopefully I can get a fly. Alright, that works too. Now I'll put young Shuppet on the entry point, and now I have a very good advantage here. So I can play a lot more passively and force him to make a move, because I have so much more board presence, although I have a lot less time on my clock, as always. He wants to fight here. That's just, I mean, that's kind of lucky, but to be honest, I had the advantage in that battle anyway. So now you just kind of want to move in. Gabite is great for pressuring the goal also because he can't attack it with Blastoise. I just slip under him, and now I move in for the surround, and it's game over. So this is probably a more ideal situation. This is ideally how you want this deck to work. Obviously it doesn't always work that way, because sometimes you just do get straight up out-muscled by stronger decks with a lot of EX Pokemon. But Gabite, I think, is the MVP there, so he'll take the win. The game has been more interesting for me since I've started trying out this strategy, because I'm not relying on RNG, and RNG is so frustrating. It's one of, I think, the biggest design flaws with this game. Every game needs an element of randomness, something unexpected, because if you know exactly what's going to happen, it's not as fun. Cassie made samosas.
Not samosas,
okay,
like a Malaysian style samosa.
It's a Malaysian style samosa. It's hot. Alright, thank you. So like I was saying, randomness, very important in games, but you don't want players to feel like they're losing games because of randomness, because that is what makes this game really frustrating. When you win a battle because of randomness, it feels okay, but it's not as rewarding as setting up surround kills, for me at least, and I think in general. Typically, with good game design, you want the randomness to occur at the beginning of a player's turn, so that way you're reacting to randomness. The randomness is sort of a challenge rather than something that determines the actual outcome of your turn. If the randomness happens at the beginning, then you can play around it, but when you commit your entire turn to something, and then you lose because of randomness, that's what makes this frustrating. Anyway, that's just a little game design theory. These are almost ready. The game starts in like 20 minutes, so we gotta go. We're late, but we brought food, so it's okay, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, they got it.
Overtime.
There it is, one. Can you get it? Can you get it? Yeah, it's over, it's over. You got it.
Whoa. Dude,
What?
what'd you think of that game? So good you had to take off your pants? Crazy comeback. Biggest comeback in Super Bowl history. First overtime in Super Bowl history. It turned out to be a pretty exciting game. Can you see me? I know it's dark, but we got home and realized we haven't spun a Pokestop all day. So we're just walking down to the golf course to keep that streak alive. Alright, there's usually a good cluster spawn here, so give this a spin. That is the 1 day streak right there. And then, 4 Pokemon, 5 Pokemon, not bad. Just catch a couple of these and then call it a night. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. And I will see you tomorrow.